Hello, welcome to Parkson 101 Training for MaximOS. My name is John DeoGracias, and I'm the Product Manager for MaximOS. MaximOS is an on-site generation technology that is used for disinfection applications in the water and wastewater fields. Typically, in the past, chlorine gas has been the traditional disinfectant of choice. It's cheap and easy, but with that, it's probably the most dangerous application out there for disinfection chemicals. As technology has evolved over the past, new technologies have come about. You have your non-chlorine-based disinfection technologies, as in UV and ozone. You have your chlorine-based technologies, which includes the calcium hypochlorite tablet feeder, bulk delivered sodium hypochlorite, and the on-site generation technology, which can be generated in a 0.8% concentration sodium hypochlorite or in the mixed oxidant chemistry. Our biggest competitors in the on-site generation technology are three manufacturers, one being Severn Trent. They manufacture a system called Chlortec. A second system from Evoqua, formerly Siemens and US Filter, manufacture an OSEC system. And third, the PSI, or Process Solutions Inc. Microchlor on-site generation system. What makes on-site generation unique and a growing market is that it combines salt, water, and energy to generate a low concentration disinfectant. And what I mean by low concentration disinfectant, it's generally below a 1% concentration that I would categorize it as a hazardous chemical. So typically what we've seen in the marketplace is why municipalities convert from chlorine gas or from bulk hypochlorite is from safety reasons, but more recently, due to the increasing cost of bulk sodium hypochlorite, on-site generation has become even more favorable. The on-site generation process consists of this. You have water coming from the left, it's filtered, and then it goes through a water softener where it is reduced to less than 1 grain of hardness. A portion of the flow goes into the on-site generator, and a portion of the flow goes into the brine storage tank. The brine storage tank generally holds between 30 to 40 days of salt capacity, and from there it generates a saturated brine where it comes out the bottom of the tank, and it's mixed with the softened water prior to going into the electrolytic cell. The electrolytic cell is located inside the on-site generator, where the power is applied to strip electrons off the sodium chloride molecule to give you our low concentration disinfectant. Also coming out of the generator is hydrogen gas, which we need to safely vent off the atmosphere. The sodium hypochlorite fills the tank to a high level where it then shuts down the generator, and then as the injection pump pumps the disinfectant out to a low water level, it begins to generate the sodium hypochlorite disinfectant. This is a cross-section of the internals of one of our cells. You have flow coming in from the bottom left, where it goes across the electrolytic cell and up, where we're separating the hydrogen gas from the hypochlorite solution. It goes across 2 other passes before recombining with the hydrogen gas to the solution tank. The MaximOS product line consists of several different models. This is our 1 to 2 pound per day of free available chlorine micro series unit. It has, again, the capacity to generate between 1 and 2 pounds per day. It has the self-cleaning electrolytic cell, and it simply plugs into a 120 outlet. This is very good for small booster pump, small chlorine residual enhancement applications as well as small well applications. We also have a small and a medium series units, of which the small unit in the sodium hypochlorite version can range from 25 to 100 pounds per day. We also have that in a self-cleaning version. And we also have it in the mixed oxidant chemistry, which has the capacity of going from 15 to 60 pounds per day in 15-pound increments. Our medium series systems have the capacity of going up to 500 pounds per day in the 0.8% industry standard sodium hypochlorite solution in 100-pound increments. We also now have this in the self-cleaning electrolytic cell, which goes up to 300 pounds per day in 60-pound increments. Here is just a snapshot of some examples of installations that we've had over the last 18 months of MaximOS installations ranging from 60 pounds per day all the way up to 1,500 pounds per day of sodium hypochlorite. Again, the trend for many municipalities across the country, as well as engineers, are considering on-site generation as a valuable alternative technology for disinfection. Here is a picture of our installation in Winston-Dillard, Oregon, where they utilize the mixed oxidant chemistry, and they utilize two 60-pound per day mixed oxidant generators that utilize the self-cleaning electrolytic cell for their surface water treatment plant. Tacoma, Washington is a 8 MGD wastewater treatment plant. This on-site generator generates the sodium hypochlorite mixed oxidant chemistry for their final disinfection needs. Lakeside, Oregon is a 15-pound per day mixed oxidant generator. As you can see here, it's replacing the 150-pound cylinder chlorine gas cylinders, and it's used for their wellhead application for final disinfection. Woodburn, Oregon, going to the medium size, mid-series. This is a 100-pound per day medium series sodium hypochlorite on-site generator. And then we have our large series, which has the capacity of going up to 1,000 pounds per day in the mixed oxidant chemistry, or 1,550 pounds per day in the industry standard sodium hypochlorite. MaximOS has teamed up with Miox, and we continue to be technology leaders in this industry. We are now pushing forward to further reducing the footprint of on-site generator, as well as providing the self-cleaning electrolytic cell, transformerless and rectifierless units, as well as no need for a water softener up to 600 parts per million of calcium carbonate. MaximOS is the only one that provides a self-cleaning electrolytic cell. The cleaning and the maintenance of the electrolytic cell is the biggest maintenance aspect associated with on-site generation. As calcium carbonate forms or collects on the electrodes, traditionally manufacturers have to mix muriatic acid and water together to remove the calcium carbonate off of the electrolytic cell. MaximOS has a technology that allows us to reverse the polarity on the electrolytic cell. We change the chemistry at the surface of the electrodes, which allows us to remove the calcium carbonate automatically off the cells and return the unit back to normal operating conditions. There are many advantages to self-cleaning versus the acid cleaning. Again, we're automatic, and it's done about every 700 hours, and we're proactive on the maintenance. So therefore, we're able to keep up and ensure the utility that we have the most efficient salt and energy conversions necessary for on-site generation. Versus acid cleaning, you would have to deal with the personal protective equipment, taking the unit offline, dealing with acid-based solutions, as well as disposing of them. The other chemistry that MaximOS has available to us, in addition to the 0.8% sodium hypochlorite, is the technology called mixed oxidant. The mixed oxidant is generated in the same fashion as the sodium hypochlorite, where salt, energy, and water is applied. And this, to generate the mixed oxidants, we are adding a little bit more electricity to the electrolytic cell to not only strip electrons off the sodium chloride molecule, but also off the oxygen molecule as well. We have a better understanding of what is in the mixed oxidant solution. Still primarily is sodium hypochlorite. We're generating hydrogen gas, but what we do know now is that there's traces of hydrogen peroxide in the solution that give it a different characteristic chemistry benefit over the industry standard sodium hypochlorite that our competitors generate. We were able to identify this through a chemiluminescence test, but again, this is what distinguishes the difference between the industry standard 0.8% and the mixed oxidant chemistry. Mixed oxidant chemistry has been available for over 15 years. These are some of the benefits that many municipalities across the country have experienced, from biofilm control to better chlorine residual on their distribution system, reduced disinfection byproducts, improved taste and odor, and reduced chemical usage at their surface water treatment plant. This is just one example of municipalities across the country where they were using chlorine before and where they could not even achieve or keep a residual out in their distribution system. Before switching over to mixed oxidants, where they were able to either reduce the amount of chemicals they were injecting into the system and achieving the same chlorine residual, or able to reduce their chlorine dose at the treatment plant and achieve a better residual in their distribution system. In addition to better chlorine residuals, in many instances where communities were able to reduce the amount of chlorine being injected into the system, they were able to produce less disinfection byproducts in their distribution system. The other main benefit is chemical reduction. As you can see in this surface water treatment plant in McAllen, Texas, we were able to perform jar testing at their facility where we were able to achieve what we call the microflocculation effect. The microflocculation effect was achieved by adding a very small dose of mixed oxidant chemistry so that we were able to supercharge the flock and it was able to drop out faster. We did this within 3 jar tests to prove the benefits of the mixed oxidant chemistry. The first jar test was just alum alone. The settled turbidity was a little bit over 1 NTU. The second jar test included a reduced dose of the alum plus a small dose of chlorine dioxide, in which we saw about a 10% improvement. We did a third jar test where we further reduced the amount of alum, eliminated the chlorine dioxide, and a very small dose of the mixed oxidant, and we achieved over a 30% improvement in settled turbidity. This concludes my presentation on the 101 training presentation for the MaximOS product line. Thank you.